Alrighty, here we are on the belt. Team 1 ANS, Team 2 OSP, 3K, 4v4. Belt's got 5 points. Roughly equidistant apart. Really, I think it's a really good, like, competitive map. Since it's so balanced with the points and the cover. It's really down to the base level tactics and maneuvering skill of the players to do well on this map. You can't get away with making use of funky terrain since the terrain's so basic. So I think it's good for that. Although we do have a little bit of dissension. Yeah, I'd say mirror matchups are probably what's best for this sort of map since it's so equal. But I do not care. Alright, we're dropping down with the OSP team. This is one of our returners, Call. Starkingson's another guy we've seen around in his fantastic battleship. Looking forward to watching that guy play. Call's here with just a whole bunch of tugs. Some missile launchers, some C-53s. Not that many missiles in storage, but enough. And one, T-30 and plasma Volker. I don't think there's enough plasma on the Volker to make those T-30s particularly good against larger ships. But this will be, oh no, 2 capitals on the opposing force and a pair of Axfords. It's only going to be really good against the destroyers and then the scouts. So we'll see how well this goes. Squanchy coming in with roll-offs with a whole lot of missiles. Some rockets, more roll-offs, Mark 2s and Mark 3s, and then rockets. Okay. Potentially a very powerful fleet. It's going to depend on how robust point defense of the opposing force is. Broadside C-65s with more broadside C-65s. One Bloodhound on this one. Right there, you can see it. And a little EWR and point defense support. Boyo. Already got some missiles coming in, some Hybrid 3s. There, well, Sarisas are firing, but they're not able to hit them. So pretty sure those are Sarisas, yeah. 1 gets downed, 2 gets downed, okay. Dramus has unfortunately expended all of his AMMs on those, because those weren't on manual mode. Bit of a waste there. Lafarine. Sarissa's guns. Bloodlight. Presumably these are semi-actives. Container launcher. Some decoys. And then rockets. Yeah, a little rocket pack. Okay. Go to the ANS team. We've got big guns. Big guns. 2-gun battleships, I believe. Beams on this guy, actually. Oh my. Beams and point defense out the wazoo, plus a support reins. And no, not a support reins, a missile reins. Okay. And a missile sprinter too. Wow. Aggressive play or aggressive builds, I should say, out of these two, Starkingson and Violet Weblead. Fighting Axfords with guns and PD. Pretty standard. And then a pack of beamers. With a scout. Yeah, and a jammer. And let's turn that on. Zoomed in here. Look at all the EWRs. Got one bullseye and 1, 2, 3 WR. These early warnings are so good. Unfortunately, none of them are going to be able to catch these experts since they're... Oh, this one's turning. Since they're all pointed in more or less the same direction. Pretty sure they have defilade, though. Yeah, these could loop around here to Alpha. The only one that's going to be able to see these is, I think, the Shenanigan. Pretty even on the points. Oh, these shuttles are going to be able to take things. Oh my, that's bold. Incredibly bold. What engine do you have in there? The fat yard drive. I'm amazed he's able to make it over here before any A&S ships. Goodness. Rest of Call's fleet's going to be setting up here, ready to hop on someone. Capping Alpha.
The enemy is securing zone eclipse.
Some illumination coming out onto the sprinter. Or no, just illumination coming out just cuz. Okay. That's a shuttle, not a sprinter. Nothing too exciting happening just yet, although it appears these gunships are getting oriented to fire at the destroyer team. Oh, yes. Those bloodhound tracks. The question is, did you bring some track correlators? 2 track correlators with the bloodhound. Excellent. You absolutely need those. This is going to make it into cover, but not before taking a lot of damage. I think they're both reloading at this point. No? Pretty fair amount of damage on that rear section. Fortunately, nothing in the on the beam, which is very important. Always hurts my soul when beams get taken out before they can get to target, even though, you know, beam destroyers are an absolute menace. To me, it's still painful. OSP ahead on caps and on points. But I think these Axfords can take and hold Alpha pretty easily. Oh, the clear sky out of Starkingston is going to get completely annihilated by the Darag. Yeah, it looks like it already has been getting shot at some. We're just tuning in for the tail end of this thing's existence. T-30s, it's one thing the T-30s are just going to be good off the rack at killing is a sprinter. Single sprinter on its own without any weapons. Well, I guess it had some missile launchers, but I don't think those got off now. And this beam team ought to be able to take Bravo. He doesn't want to push. Pretty terrified of those 450s. Understandable. If he like sneaks around this rock and hangs out right here, he'd be able to, yeah, cap it. This little crew coming down to Charlie to cap it. Oh, Axford's taking fire. From Call's team, okay. Those have 53s in them, so this is 250, 250 perpendicular is going to be able to do some damage. Looks like these Axfords, I'm not sure what they're doing. This guy's rolling and presenting his keel to his opponents. Seems like maybe not the best choice. Obviously he's moving to get his guns to fire at something, but I'm not sure what. I guess this shuttle? The guns aren't turning. I don't know. Let's go to Charlie.
The enemy is securing zone common.
I'm not really sure what he's trying to do with these. This could get around and dump some rockets into the nose of these fools, and they would... Well, I don't know. I think even if both of these fire at the same time, these together have enough point defense to kill those off. These beams are so out of position, it hurts. They really need to stick with their Solomons.
The enemy is securing zone boxer.
Either be aggressive or stay at the back. Don't do this weird aggressively defensive stuff.
The enemy is securing zone dagger.
It's a good way to get killed. Gunfire coming out of the Solomon towards these roll-off ships, though the track is not very good. Oh, this thing's just dead. Yeah, no way. See you later. I hope you weren't relying on that floodlight for any missiles. Flood and a few missile launchers and no point defense. So, as I've said in every video, point defense is not optional. Yeah, those rockets. Some getting through, actually. Quite a few getting through. Quite surprised.
The enemy secured zone boxer.
Roly Poly's team is... Yeah, rocket shuttle, of course, giving his life for that. Ethan finally brave enough to sneak forward, capture Bravo, and back off. Oh, nice little Starfleet symbol. Oh, that's an old style Starfleet symbol too. Yeah, that's like the movie 1 era Starfleet symbol. The motion picture. I don't think these are going to hit anything important. There's no way they're getting through all of this. So much flak. Might also just be browsing around. We're going to get some hits. Going on the rest of the map? Not much. It's been a pretty positional match. A lot of dancing, not very much fighting. Yeah, the rebound's able to clean these up with ease. Not even close. Torpedoes are way too slow to be doing that sort of thing with. Fire coming into this ship. Oh, it's 450 bulkers getting into the fight. Fire going after that shuttle. A lot of these shots just impacting on the surface here. Good hits to the rear. Already downed one of the reactors. Or one of the drives, pardon. Just gonna hurt. Probably drive on a Solomon though. I don't know about that one, Chief. Trying to be stealth with the Solomon. It's too big for that to actually make a difference. Especially when the OSP has things like EWRs. Which they can just point around the arena willy-nilly. Catch you out. Whoa! A lot of rockets come after these beams. Beams get into the fight. This guy, I've seen people do this before, but they color their beams, and I don't know how you do. Well, no, I guess that's green. It was just the angle made it look kind of blue. Yeah. Tracheostomy tube gonna be downed. Cooperative alertness. Battle shorting his beam. Good. Gonna be able to get a ton of damage into this Ocello. Shuttle down here getting gunned down by this Solomon, who is in a real bad way. He's taking an absurd amount of damage because he's off by himself, which is a really bad idea. Really in any ship, but especially a Solomon. These Axfords still just kind of hanging around over Alpha. Keeping it locked down. Solomon trying desperately to cap Delta. If he can do it, if he can get behind this rock and keep it capped, then he might be fine. Because most of the damage he's been taking has been from this gunship team back here. Oh man, right into the keel. That is not a place you want to be getting shot. Look at this. I don't think he's going to be... Yeah, 0.25 and degrading. He's definitely not going to be able to make it to Delta. Probably just going to get his reactor popped out here and be stuck here permanently for the rest of the match. And these can just... This player can leave the computer at this point. By the way, he can just shoot at this and then just walk away. And keep this thing locked down. Prevent it from Solomon rezzing. From Solomon grundying. And he will have done his job. He will have done a very important job. Well, Starking Sin, you playing a little smarter? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Trying to stick with the beam team. Trying to burn forward and get some damage down. This T-30s coming in on top of the plasma fire. Going to be pretty effective, especially since this has already been weakened by some gunfire out of these ships back here. Just good. That's all still going on. It's all still going on. Yeah, the Mimsy is effectively out of the fight. And I think it's important to continue shooting at it to keep it from getting back into the fight. Drive came back online, was immediately shot out. Yeah, this thing's hosed. So good job to Dramus for his prioritization, not trying to play the game with this beam team who is getting just completely destroyed by these T-30s. Just a little bit of plasma on top into a withering barrage of T-30 fire. Very nice to see. Indignation going to be taken down. And those basic CICs. Now it's a reinforced. And it's just because the reactor's offline and he's got 0 reses. Wings of Fire getting in closer. Desperately desiring to kill this T-30 monster. It's got plasma, so that makes sense. Plasma could be an absolute menace to this. Ton of rocket fire coming in. Oh, the bastion's just not quite enough. Or rebounds, stone walls. One gets through. It's not bad. See how well it performs the second volley. All the while, going to be burning up here and getting beams to target. Is he going to battle short? No, no battle shorting. Another leaker. Overall, this ship's fine. This one is very much not. Just one round of beams crippling the magazine. Which could be a huge problem because you sort of need bullets to shoot. I don't know. Sounds kind of useful. Axford's bravely coming out of their spot and getting horribly punished for it. A huge volley of 200s. Oh, man. Coming out of Squanchy. This front escort, the Titan, is in real bad shape. What about the rear? Damaged, but not down. Call, on the other hand, is in big trouble. Oh, very close range 200s. The point defense isn't going to have enough time to fire. Just going to run to this front beam. pretty much down. He's getting surrounded. Oh no, those are the missiles that passed coming back up. Might be getting surrounded. These might be able to fire unless they're too busy worried about having their asses shaved off with a frickin' laser. Ooh, the track's just not quite good enough, though. Oh, that hurts my bones. Finally getting to target. These experts taking even more damage. I think the OSP is going to take this one. Violet Web Lead tapping out. Oh yeah, the owner of the Mimsy just continued to just be completely camped by Dramus's forces. Experts aren't down. I think they're going to be able to dish out good damage. Oh yeah, 450s into monitors is pretty good. It's pretty good. How's the Wings of Fire doing? Not great. Quite awful, in fact. Call feeling brave enough to pull out his Bulker and fire more. I think these beam turrets have been damaged enough to where they can't activate. DC team scrambling to get something done. But it is... I don't think it's going to be enough. Got 9 Resurrects remaining. So it might be enough. But only if he can get out of the line of fire. These finishers could spell disaster. Some of the stone walls are downed, which means these are going to have a pretty easy time of it. Unfortunately, they seem to have been fired at too far away of a location. Okay, 2 going to sniff him, 4 going off. I think 2 can get cleaned up. Oh yeah, quite easily. Starkingson desperately trying to get into cover so he can pull the old Lich resurrection trick. But there's no pressure coming out from any of his other teammates. So he can't do that. The whole OSP team can focus on this one ship because the beam team got destroyed. Ooh, fire coming out of this one. Right into the rear side of the Darag there. But, oh, that didn't last for very long. Still not battle shorting. I think this is definitely a situation in which you wouldn't do that given the sheer volume of incoming fire. A few Lampreys coming in here to finish off this destroyer, just to make sure it stays dead. Not enough to kill it, though. I mean, it's in bad shape, and it's in real bad shape. But it's not dead. Wings of Fire might be able to cap Echo, which could help. But then again, maybe not. Annihilation Theory is spooling up some missiles. Well, these might be track fired. If they're track fired, they're going to slam into this wall. Let's find out what happens. I think they were track fired, but I don't think they're actually going to fly into the wall. And he's moving just slow enough. He's going to sneak around it. Going to grab the attention of the point defense just long enough that the finishers can be fired in the wrong place again and miss again. Unfortunate. We got the MVP of the ANS team right here. Just staying in the fight. Refusing to give up. Very impressive. The Expert team is trying desperately on the other side of the map to also cap points. I think that Solomon's grabbed enough attention that they're actually able to do some work as well. They should be able to cap Delta. Of course, this Tug got a call, able to cap Bravo, and the beam team can't really contest it at all. Looks like this is taking more damage since we've looked, presumably from this guy and his missiles. More finishers coming in. Looks like these are going to go into the wall. Oh, Squanchy having hella problems. getting his missiles to target. Able to cap Echo, but with the flipping of Bravo, means the OSP is still up on points and up on caps. Here goes the clear sky. I'm surprised it took so long. It was like a 15-minute cook-off. What the hell? Call still menacing this poor ship. Gap blasting him with the T-30s. Ooh. Just leave! Don't waste everyone's time! We all have a limited amount of time on this earth. It's very precious. I want to waste it in the way I want to waste it by actually playing the game, not by sitting here waiting for a guy. So here's the AAR. Here's Ethan. He didn't do anything, which is unfortunate. Only one ship was able to use its beam. Very unfortunate. Really bully, who wasted everyone's time right at the end. But during the match was able to get some good damage done. Not amazing, but good. Starkington, oh, that hurts. 11 cannon beam ship is kind of painful. Who was just having positional problems. And team really wasn't... There's just no teamwork out of the ANS. That's the problem. Yeah, this guy got destroyed because he was off on his own. And yet another OSP victory because the ANS team, for some weird reason, refused to work together, and the OSP team worked together pretty well. I don't know why this keeps happening. Yeah, that's the game. There's actually not that much to see in the AAR. So, Cole did a good job. This did more than I was expecting, a lot more than I was expecting. They'll figure it out. Yeah, not much to see here. Hope you enjoyed it. That was another weird short game that went in a strange way. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Hope you enjoyed. I think I said that already. I got a Discord where I ping when I'm hosting and sometimes try to host team games with the viewers. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, check that out. It's going to be in the description. And I'll see you later.